In this video, we're diving into the factors that influence farm prices in Saskatchewan, but there's more to it than just the land itself. I'll be covering the essentials that every buyer, seller, and investor should know, from the quality of the land and the irrigation potential to how marketing strategies can turn a good deal into a great one. Whether you're a local farmer or a first-time investor, understanding these factors could be the game changer for your next farm property decision. If you are thinking about buying, selling, investing, or relocating in Saskatchewan, send me an email. My info is in a description below. Understanding soil types is extremely important when it comes to Saskatchewan farmland, specifically fertile black soil, sandy soil, or clay soil can make a dramatic difference from how that farmland produces. Different areas across the province behave differently for a variety of different reasons, and this is one of the most important key steps. You can reference SAMA, Saskatchewan Assessment Management Agency, to find information on a particular piece of farmland, including what is the current assessment value, how many farmable acres are available on that particular piece of land. And I do recommend either going to Google Maps or viewing the property in person and taking an aerial drone shot so that you can confirm how the property does present and how many farmable acres are there as compared to what's claimed on SAMA, because there's all different types of ways that you can reclaim the land by removing trees or draining sloughs, or it might just be drier than it was in the past, or vice versa, so that you have an accurate picture of this particular piece of property. Understanding the different market segments, such as pasture land, as well as cultivated land, as well as irrigated land, are also extremely important. How close the property is to major centers does also, believe it or not, make a dramatic difference in the price of a particular piece of farmland. Convenience is, of course, also a factor. How close are you to the surrounding grain terminals? How easy is it to get help if you need additional hires on your farm? And when it's closer to a major center, you of course have additional eyeballs on that land for people that might be scoping out farmland in the area. There are only a certain few key areas in the province that actually do have access to irrigation based on their location and proximity to bodies of water. However, Saskatchewan does offer some of, if not the best and most fertile land in all of Canada, where you don't need irrigation for most areas in the province, and if you have it, is definitely a bonus. One of the factors to consider is how long is the growing season in that particular area, and how often do they see a drought. What types of crops you can grow in the area also do make a dramatic difference in what you could charge for a specific piece of farmland. And you can talk to the local farmers about what has typically been growing in that area. However, there is creative new techniques that are coming to the marketplace for specialty crops where, if it's been proven can be done in that particular area, can dramatically increase the price of your farmland. Some of the typical crops that you'll see in Saskatchewan include canola, wheat, barley, peas, oats, and flax. And of course, the global demand for any one of those particular crops can also make a dramatic difference in what you could get for your farmland. It seems to be that if you have a very productive year, prices are down. And on the flip side, if there's a lot of drought, prices are up, but you typically might not have. And of course, the global demand and factors that influence trade for those particular types of crops will also make a dramatic difference for the value of farmland overall. For example, if everybody had a good year and everybody has grain to sell, prices are going to be down. On the flip side, if there was a significant drought, there might not be as much product available, so their prices might be up. There are also a number of political factors when it comes to global trade that can affect the pricing of grain and farmland as well. And of course, interest rates, of course, influence the market, especially for those farmers that have operations that are significantly financed. For those that are cash farmers, they can hold on to their grain and wait for a good market. For those that are heavily leveraged, they have bills to pay and might need to sell their grain at a price that is less desirable based on the demands to pay those payments. When pricing a piece of farmland, there are a few things to consider. Yes, you have to look at comparable sales in the local area. You also have to look at current local farmers in the area. You also have to look at what investors are doing across the province, and you also have to look at how productive this piece of farmland is, and you can also compare it to other areas in the province and some of the recent sales that have happened across the province. It's very common to see farmers stuck in their local market with what happened yesterday with their neighbor, or what happened 10 years ago the last time they purchased a piece of farmland. But the market as a whole has a huge impact on what influences what's going to happen next in the local market. And we've seen farm prices over the past decade dramatically increase, and some local farmers are either not prepared for it or unexpectedly hit from one angle or the next, whether it be good, bad, or otherwise. Interestingly enough, because the swings on values for farmland can be so dramatic, and because of the lack of data available to local farmers in many cases during a trade in real estate for their land, you will see a huge swing on what an agent can do when they come in to help market that property, not just to the other local farmers in the area, but also to investors as well. How the property is positioned, how the property is marketed, and how the property is set to market makes a dramatic difference on the outcome for a sale in a piece of farmland. Fully exposing it to the market, I've seen easily 30% swings from the original price that was intended to the finished sale price, just due to strategic marketing and prospecting for that particular piece of land. Additional factors include mineral rights. If there is oil on the property, there can be additional income streams that come, which is typically south of the province. And as well, some farmland, if it's located close enough to a major center, can have really great additional benefits when it comes to redevelopment. If you have more questions about anything real estate in Saskatchewan, send me an email. My info's in the description below. Otherwise, thanks for being here today. Have a wonderful, fantastic day, and I will see you on this video next.